I think a key trend for this year to look out for will be recession. Um, so when the chairman of IMF spoke, Christine, she mentioned about two-thirds of the world will be entering a recession this year, and given everyone is expecting a soft landing from the US Fed, it's highly unlikely because China is open now. China accounts for about 60% of global demand, especially for commodities. So we're expected to see the likes of oil, um, copper, silver starts to pretty much tick up, given that they're a manufacturing hub. They pretty much had to let go of their zero COVID policy because it wasn't working. It was setting them back. Um, in terms of what HNIs need to look out for, they just need to focus more on alternative investments. Last year, traditional investments took a very strong beating. No sector was spared. The equity market was down. The Eurobond space was particularly down. We know Ghana defaulted. They put their interest payments on their Eurobonds on hold. I think this year they'll be looking towards other sectors that provide value, such as venture capital, hedge funds. Even the theme now, because if you think about it, given this was pretty much the most aggressive rate hike the US has ever done, right? Just to combat inflation, because inflation is big right now. Nigeria are above 21%, Ghana is at 54%, the US is still at 6.5%. And they have a target to get to 2%, right? But unfortunately, people overlook the fact that inflation is not really easing. If you look at the trend of prices recently, so gas had dropped, right? But oil has started ticking up again. China is open now, is expected to continue trending upwards, right? So commodity prices, you're talking about your wheat, the food people eat. They said 60-70% came out of Ukraine that was supposed to come to Africa, but only 30% made its way. So you have this whole tension between Russia, US, US, China also escalating again, but trying to moderate because they typically have trade wars, which also then affect the rest of the world. So it's how do you hedge, your portfolio against these things? So I think those are the key trends we would be looking at this year. So which is why we keep telling people you need to diversify, think long term. Don't expect things to come, like for example, we are not currently advising entering the markets, especially, equities or, crypto, like they say, because these things are rallying on very low liquidity. We're looking at a lot of short squeezes that are going on right now. So a lot of people are buying just to cover their existing positions and they're still getting liquidated. So it's just, be on the safe side. I don't want to take too much time, but another thing I wanted to speak to in terms of trends and dynamics is, so if you look at Africa as a case study, right, it's very hard to see something like the Rockefeller, right, where wealth is transferred generation to generation. I don't think I can mention up to 3 people off the top of my head that wealth transferred from 3 different generations. It typically dies at the first one. And this is as a result of, 4 asset structures that they have. So I think in terms of like your family governance and financial planning, it's something HNIs need to wake up to and start thinking about how they want to pretty much set up like their family councils, trusts, and other legal entities that can help them better secure their wealth.